David Chater sent us this report.
The city of Nablus is well used to the daily humiliations of occupation. Like communities throughout the West Bank, they mobilized today against what they called the Israeli desecration of the noble sanctuary in Jerusalem as yet another arrogant example of illegal oppression. The news of unity in Mecca has buoyed the mood here, but they believe the new government should make no compromise with the Israelis.
Israel should recognize the right not of the Palestinian people, the Palestinian state, the land of the Palestine. Not only give us only people we are free. No, we have to have a free state, complete state. So Israel has to recognize the Palestinian rights. Not only we have to recognize Israel. Israel have to recognize first us.
That mood of militancy is matched in nearly every household in Nablus. Zadia's son Ahmed is serving 3 life sentences in an Israeli jail. She says he was just resisting the occupation. Enough of our own blood, she said. We must fight against the Jews, not fight with each other on the streets. All Palestinians here would welcome an end to the blight caused by the economic blockade, but not at any price. They will judge the new government by its ability to end the occupation. In the Balata refugee camp in Nablus, the Al-Aqsa Martyrs Brigade, the armed wing of Fatah, are also in no mood for compromises with the Israelis. The occupation exists, that's the reality. Politicians can recognize Israel as a state, but we never will. We have the right to fight for the 67 borders, to protect our children and our Palestinian homeland. It seems apparent then here, if the new government does make compromises with the Israelis, it will be without the support of many Palestinian people. David Chater, Al Jazeera, Nablus.
Sharif Hikmat Nashashibi is the chairman of Arab Media Watch, and he joins us now. Welcome.
Hi.
Uneasy calm, uneasy peace in East Jerusalem so far tonight. Are events there linked at all to the unity government formation in Mecca and the territories?
I think they are. I think they are. I mean, the issue here is whatever government the Palestinians have, whether it's Fatah, whether it's Hamas, whether it's a unity government, it doesn't have the power to really improve the daily lives of Palestinians. And what we have here in East Jerusalem is Israel acting at will in occupied territory against international law. And the international community is not willing or able to do anything about it, and neither is any Palestinian government.
They don't have the power, you say, otherwise. They don't have the power because there's been so much violence and internal struggle in the territories. So if there is now a unity government, perhaps that is now on the agenda.
I don't think so. I mean, even during the peace process, when there wasn't this internal strife, all the chips were and are in Israel's hands. Any Palestinian government doesn't really have the power to, for instance, to end the occupation, to remove checkpoints, settlements, the barrier, all these things that are suffocating Palestinian life. These are all in the hands of Israel and really in the hands of the international community's will or ability to make Israel abide by UN resolutions and international law.
And Hamas fighting Fatah and Fatah fighting Hamas? That's Israel's fault?
No, that's not Israel's fault. But any Palestinian government that comes into place is going to have to improve the lives of Palestinians. And unless we end the occupation, the lives of Palestinians is not going to improve. And it is up to Israel to end the occupation. And any Palestinian government that comes into force now is not going to be able to do that on its own.
Okay, the goal in Mecca was to form a unity government with success. Was that for Palestinians or was that for the international community? Was that the start of a road?
I think both. I mean, obviously, the infighting in Palestine was unacceptable to all sides. And also, there was a demand in the international community to have a unity government. There are still hurdles. I don't think this is, the end of the process. The government still has to be formed. It has to be accepted by all parties, including Israel and the West. It has to act in a unified way.
There's been quite a quiet, a muted reaction in the West, apart from Russia, that has actually put its head above the parapet and said, there should be an end to sanctions now. Are you surprised at how restrained the reaction has been to Mecca?
Not really. I mean, there were statements from the U.S. and Israel prior to this saying that that perhaps a unity government wasn't enough, and that unless Hamas were willing to accept its three conditions, that it still wouldn't deal with a unity government. So it doesn't surprise me that there is this cautious response, and it doesn't bode very well. I mean, because we might still be faced with a situation where if Hamas doesn't accept these three conditions prior to anything else, then this government will still be a pariah government in American and Israeli eyes, and we might well be back to square one.
Sharif, Hikmat, Nashashibi, thank you.
Thank you.